Dear ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Crypto Max channel. I am your crypto guide Hari. In this channel, I help you navigate the crypto land to maximize your financial gains at as low risk as possible. Just like I said, I am just your crypto guide and not a financial advisor. Whatever I say, take that with a pinch of salt and try to do your own research before investing. Having said that, how are you all doing? I know we had a very difficult day yesterday and most of us were almost going to get wrecked or we got wrecked, including myself. I did suffer a major loss, but that didn't stop me from learning again because situation like these is when you can truly learn from your mistakes and be a better investor, a better trader. And I truly believe that cryptocurrency is an opportunity of a lifetime for people of this generation to find true financial freedom. And hence, I will not give up. I will try to teach whatever I learn. If it's useful for you, I'm happy. If it is not, uh, do give me a feedback. I will try to improve further. I would also like to tell you that having a look at your portfolio go down by 40%, 50%, or how much ever it is, not to be scared. I know it's funny to say some. I mean, it's maybe even sarcastic for you if I say something like that. But know this: if you believe in Bitcoin or any altcoin that is of a good quality, you have researched about it, you believe, truly believe that this is good, then it means it is going to only go up in the long run. In all my experience, I have seen many such Bitcoin crashes, and yet Bitcoin has always gone up. In this domain, there is a famous saying that volatility is the price you pay for performance in Bitcoin. It's true to all coins even more. And especially if you just have your crypto in a spot wallet, you don't really need to worry much because you are not going to get liquidated. If you're so scared, take a break. Maybe 2 weeks later, 2 months later, 2 years later, I'm not sure. Even if you went into a bear market, there will be another bull market and your funds will recover. I'm not giving this as financial advice, I'm just telling it based on historical experience. That's it. And I believe in that. If you were in leverage trading and you did get liquidated, I am really sorry for that. Even my account, some of my money also got liquidated. But I would say that that was a learning. So don't be afraid. Go look at what you did wrong and try to teach yourself how you can play this game better, how to fight against this, save yourself from such market manipulations. This is all we can do, and we all want to get more financial freedom over time, and we don't want to get rich overnight. Okay, I think I've given enough advice on that. I will try to go to the topic. Okay, let's go to the chart directly. I have found several things here. So I will point out. Yes, of course, we saw this big crash here. We went all the way down to 30,000. This was definitely market manipulation. Somehow it had to exactly bounce at 30K. And I saw some videos about how they manipulated using this Wyckoff pattern. I don't draw this here, but I shared videos on Twitter uh, from other influencers who explained how this worked. So this was definitely market manipulation, it's clear. And now we are trying to go up. It is important for you to note that right now this is the 200-day moving average. We are on a daily chart, and generally the 200-day moving average defines whether we are in a bull market or a bear market. Right now we are below it, which signifies we could be in a bear market. Unless and until we bounce above this, we are not in safe zone. And right now, today, we got rejected again below it. So, first things first, if you are wondering whether you can enter the market already, Maybe you bought the dip yesterday when the price crashed. Good for you. But then it doesn't mean that we are done with this danger yet. The danger still looms around. We need to close above, well above, nicely, and then we need to have some kind of bullish indicators to show us that the bear trend is over, that the bull market is going to continue. So watch out for that. In fact, I do see on the 4 hours that generally in a bull trend you will have the green line, which is the 8-day moving average, above the red line, which is the 21-day moving average. And if it is below, then it's bearish. If it's above, then it's bullish. We are still bearish. So I would still wait and not risk anything at the moment, especially if you're trading. If you're just investing, I leave it to you. But I wouldn't recommend getting in on something, especially if you're trading at the moment. Better to be on the sidelines. Okay, then having said that, let's go to the longer time frames like the monthly and the weekly. I have been telling this for quite some time, and you may have seen in some of my videos before that we have this pattern, guys. See, the RSI is always in every bull market is making two peaks above 90%, and then the bear market starts. Two peaks, bear market starts. We made one peak, and when we were in April, I told that a red candle that goes back to the EMA 8 was expected. It is not, I mean, you can say it was Elon or any other China FUD or whatever, but at the end of the day, it was very clear from the charts that we had to go back down before we can go back up. And a news only triggers such events when the market is unstable. News can easily trigger. This is what I believe as a technical analyst. So the charts had already shown us that something could happen, any kind of what could crash the market. This was already expected by me. And I see that here we touched, even if you go to the previous bull markets, you see here we tried to touch again. I mean, we did even go below. So this was indication that we will definitely come and touch this line. And like I said, we did come. Okay, let us zoom out a bit. Like I said, we did come and touch that line. Actually, we went below. I didn't expect that we'll go this low. I thought we'll be going to like 39K and then we bounce from there. This was kind of my expectations, and yeah, my expectations were broken on the wrong side. Okay, now if you see, I have also mentioned earlier that we usually have, after this kind of a touch to EMA 8, in the past two bull markets, we have had three green candles from the point we go above this, two or three green candles from the point we go above the previous peak or the previous close, especially previous monthly close. And you can see that here as well. If you go, we had six green candles just like the last time. Let me remove this. Just one, two, three, four, five, six, and then we had a red. And then generally when you have a long wick like this, we go back down again. Long red wick generally causes another downtrend. So we went back down again, 2 months of red, another green, and then we went above here roughly, and then two green candles, and then the market was over. And then the bear market started. And for this reason, although every market had this double RSI peaks, I feel that this time we are less similar to 2017 but more similar to 2013, because we had in 2013 two red candles. Right now also we have the same, and if you see here, the RSI dip of 2017 was not that much, whereas here we are doing exactly the same as 2013. 2 months of red, we are here inside the range, and from here I expect the moment we go above 60k, two to three green candles if we go back to being in a bull market. Right now it is not clear. Do remember that. Okay. Now what else do I see? When do I think that we can be sure that the bull market is back? One thing I said, we need to close above the 200-day moving average. The other thing you can see from the weekly charts, I saw something very interesting, guys. You see here, let's go back, go back, and yeah, this is 2013, and here you see we went to make many green weeks, and then the red week started. From the time it started until the crash ended, there were 13 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then the race started again. And the 13th week went and touched almost the 50-week moving average. Okay. This did not happen in 2017. The 2017 pattern was a bit different. So if you see in 2017, we didn't see this kind of a pattern. It ended here and then we went down, we went up, we went down. We were mostly bouncing off of 20-week moving average. We never really went down. There was only once in 2017 this thing happened, and the exact same is happening here in 2021. We made green. Okay, this was there. This is then kind of similar to 2017, but then after we made the final green leg up, we make 13 candles to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. And the 13th candle goes and touches the 50-week moving average. If history were to repeat itself, I expect that this is the last week of this bear trend. Could be. I'm not 100% sure. But this week could be the end of our misery comparing ourselves to 2013. And then the next week could be a green candle, but not major, just like in 2017. But it could be a green candle. And why will it not be so big? I think is because next week is end of the month. Usually, in the end of the month, there is options expiry for Bitcoin, and if this happens, usually the prices are a bit downwards until the options expire. So until end of next week, Friday, I would expect that the market is going to be somewhat of in a shaky nature, especially this week could be a bit dangerous. And once we finish this month, if we were to go to a bull market, then I would expect June to be bullish. I would expect us to go above the 21-week moving average, the 200-day moving average. I would expect us to make the next week a green candle. All this will most likely happen. Like I said, we did that here. The 13th week was a green can was a, sorry. The 13th week here was a red candle, and then we made a small green candle, and then we started to go up. The green candle the next week will likely, like exactly in this case, it's likely going to take us above the 21-week moving average. If this happens by the end of the month, we will most likely continue the bull market. Okay, what other data assists this theory? First thing, if you look at the greed and fear index, we are at 11, that is extreme fear. And usually, if you look at historical charts, we are this low. And this happened last year during the corona crash, of course. And then a few times before, but then these are really still in the bear market. But every time when we went there, we stayed at this range for a maximum of 1 to 2 weeks, not more than that, every time. And this week we have entered here, and probably we are going to be here for a week to two. That exactly matches my theory. This week and then the next week, and then we are most likely having to go back up slowly but steadily. And I believe that you cannot stay at these lows for so long. At least the 2 years of history doesn't show that we remain at 10 for too long. And also that from here another big FUD and big crash Where how much down can you go? And if such a thing happens, even the whales that are trying to manipulate us will also be at a loss. So it doesn't make sense for them to create a bigger crash and then take us all into a bear market sooner than expected. And this is something I don't expect to happen, but I'm not saying that it will not happen. Okay, next, what do we see? We see that, okay, give me a moment, let this thing load. We see that, okay, this is a FUD. Okay, there is a possible head and shoulders that forms, which could take us back down. That is the reason why I'm saying we have to wait until the end of this month to see how things play out. So this FUD is there, and we have the next thing that I noticed is that here, you see, just like I said, Raul Paul, one of the biggest investors from mainstream as well, also shows that the pattern is so similar to 2013. The blue one is 2013, and let me make it bigger. The blue line is 2013, and then the white line is right now in 2021, and we are mostly following this roughly correlated. And I think, like I said, the dip is here, and we slowly try to go up, and then we make the peak. Let's see how this plays out. But yeah, like I said, we have to wait a little bit more. Maybe there is another small dip before we can go back up. And then I'm not sure if you guys are following this handle. It's a very useful handle called Whale Alert. They usually show where do the big funds move. And if you see, lot of USDC is being minted. This shows that stable coins are usually minted and they are moved to exchanges to buy more crypto. And you see USDC transfer to Binance. So many of them I saw today. USDC transfer to Bitfinex. And then, okay, BTC moved from unknown. Okay, BTC has been moved. Yes, I agree. But I see a lot of stable coins being minted and then they are moving into exchanges or ETH being transferred between unknown wallets. Not much of currencies, cryptocurrencies that are going into an exchange. A cryptocurrency going into an exchange could mean that they are being traded for other cryptocurrencies or they are going to trade it for a stable coin, which is bad. But in this case, we are seeing more cases where stable coins are moving into exchanges, which shows that the whales are buying, guys. Another thing, this guy, Michael Saylor, one of the big investors from mainstream, he has been gobbling up so many bitcoins. He has gotten 111,000 bitcoin and he is not selling anything. I mean, okay, you can argue that he's saying, but how do we know that he's not selling? Fair enough. We'll see here. Lark Davis, one of the famous crypto YouTube influencers, he shared this recently from yesterday's data. You see, 750 million worth of Bitcoin was moved from exchanges to safe wallet in cold storage is immediately after yesterday's crash, and there were more like this. I don't have access to on-chain data like from Glassnode, so I cannot really show it. But if you see watch videos from Dave Lark or somebody else who's a crypto influencer, they usually show this data, and all this data clearly shows that the whales are buying this information. And this that I showed you guys, and also the charts that I show, all point to me that by the end of this month, if the charts, like I said, go above 21-week moving average and 200-day moving average, and we close like exactly what happened in 2013, we are most likely going towards a bull market. If not, then we have to check our bets. So in case if you want to buy the dip as a spot wallet investment, you have like a week or so time. But be careful, be vigilant, make sure that you don't lose more money in case of a crash, which I don't say cannot happen, but looks unlikely. And what else do I have to say? I want to show another interesting metrics. How far can we go in case of a bull market? I'll show you. So let's go to this chart here. This was the peak in 2013. From here, we went all the way down to this bottom here. That was about 76%, let's say. And from this bottom, we went all the way up. Let's see. We went all the way up to this top, and that was 1767%. Let's make a ratio. Okay, let's make a ratio. 1767% divided by the crash was last time. I mean, this was only 53 this time. This time it had been 76. I really envy the courage of those guys. So let's roughly put 76. We have a ratio of 23.25. Okay. Now what we do, let us go to the current crash that happened. Let's go quickly. And we will see that in this time we went from there to this bottom, assuming this is the bottom. I am not saying that we will not go down further, but mostly I think we have found the bottom here. So this is roughly 54%. From here, if you want to go to the top, 54 into 23.25, that says we could do a 12.5x from here, from the bottom. So 12.5x or 12,555%. So I put 12.5 into 30, 375,000 potentially, but I wouldn't expect us to perform this good given that Bitcoin is already too big compared to 2013. The market cap is very high. Even if we made half of this, we could at least go near 200,000 if the bull market continues. And what about the rest of the oils? I'm not talking much about them because usually if Bitcoin does something, the oils follow. By now you would have made that clear to yourself. So if we have a bull market in Bitcoin, definitely your ETH, your Matic, whatever that you hold, it's most likely going to go up. If unfortunately we ended up into a bear market, then you may have to wait until the next bull market in 2024 and 25. Be prepared, see, watch out for what is going to happen by the end of this month. Until then, I will sign off. If you like my content, please let me know in your comment section or at least give me a like. I would truly appreciate it.